These are 7 of the highest impact ways to leverage artificial intelligence to grow your law firm, whereas 53% of business owners have found a way to use AI to automate and streamline workflows in their business. Only 5% of small businesses are actually using AI to grow their business, not just manage and optimize systems and processes. So in this video, you're gonna learn 7 ways to use AI to grow your law firm rather than just systemize processes. And we're gonna break it down from AI avatars to AI image avatars to using AI in your advertising, using it in your intake process, and really every single part of your client acquisition journey. So strap in, listen closely. This could result in $1 million to your bottom line in the next 12 months. What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Law Firm Growth Accelerator Talk Show. This is episode 4, which I'm very excited about because we're talking about AI-infused social media to grow law firms. And I have my friend Derek Martin here with me today. We're just gonna riff, okay? Derek didn't even know he was doing this until like 24 hours ago. Welcome to my life, welcome to Derek's life. So we're just gonna be riffing on some of the 7 highest impact AI use cases for client acquisition. One of the biggest statistics that made me personally want to make today's talk show about this topic was I read a statistic that 53% of US businesses have embedded AI into their workflows, yet only 5%, someone put a 5 in the chat for me, yet only 5% of businesses are using AI effectively for growth. So what that means to me is we're using AI to automate certain processes, help us with research, help us with day-to-day tasks, but we're not really using it to grow our business, right? So that's what I wanted to focus on today is ways that we can leverage artificial intelligence to actually grow our business rather than just optimize tasks that we do on a day-to-day basis. So Derek, why don't you introduce yourself? Derek's going to be adding his expert commentary as we go through these 7 high-impact AI use cases for law firm owners like yourself.
Yeah, hey Bill, thanks for having me, man. So I own a firm in Chicago, named Driver Defense Team. We do criminal defense generally, but we've really niched down to do mostly DUIs and traffic tickets, things like that, right? So we still handle, your guns and drugs and occasional murders, but for the most part, 95% of our business is niched down to traffic related offenses. And let's see, about 8 years in business, the last 4 of which have been with SMB, marketing, coaching, all those things. And had a lot of growth over the last 4 years in particular. We now have 32 full-time people, 12 lawyers, I think. So good size operation and continuing to grow it and optimize it. And yes, a lot of it is AI. It's a beast. It's a beast trying to figure it out, but that's what we're here to talk about.
Yeah, you're definitely tech forward. That's why I wanted you to kind of be here to be the attorney voice of reason as I go through all these tips and tricks for everyone. So the 7 high impact use cases we're going to dive into today, I'll list them out and then we're going to dive into each one of them. Number 1, we're going to talk about conversational AI chat and lead nurturing to help your conversion. Then we're going to talk about AI video avatars. I'm going to show you 3 specific examples of specific law firms who are using this and the results that they're seeing using an AI avatar versus a regular video that they filmed themselves. I'm going to go into AI image avatars. We'll go into automated content repurposing tools, ways that you can film 1 hour-long podcast episode or video and have it turned into 10, 20, 30 short-form clips at the click of a button, eliminating the need for an editor. Then we're going to go into AI-supported marketing and ad optimization. This is a huge area of opportunity that immediately will put money in your bank account. Then we're going to go into AI-supported content creation, actually creating content, written word content through AI, pros, cons of that. And last but not least, we're going to go into AI-based songs. And we have a couple funny songs to share with everyone today to show you how custom these songs can get, which are creative ways you can use these songs to follow up with your prospects, make it feel like you hired a personal band to make a song for for one of your prospects that stopped communicating with your firm. So now we're going to dive into today's lesson plan. 7 high-impact use cases for AI for client acquisition in law firms, starting with number 1, conversational AI chat. Okay, so I'm going to actually share a quick example from my buddy Bob Simon, who will be speaking at the event. And this is something that Ethan texted myself and Andy not too long ago, and it was pretty impressive to say the least. Let me play this clip for everyone here. All right, never mind.
Can you just give us your best AI voice, Phil?
Yeah, I'm gonna give you an AI voice impersonation.
That works.
So basically, if I could play this dang clip, the clip is showing an example of. I'll just share my entire screen so that you guys can hear it more simply. What Bob Simon is doing is he has found a way to automate all of his inbound phone calls. Okay, so what he's using is, it basically leads with an AI voice that sounds like a real person, and it says, "Hello, thanks for calling, the Simon Law Group. Just to let you know, we use artificial intelligence and advanced technology to help, better the potential outcomes of our clients' matters. And in order to do that, I'd like to collect some information," right? So they're transparent about it. And then it goes through a list of questions to collect information. It's about, 25 to 30 seconds long. And based on the inputs of what the client says, they're then either passed to a high-level attorney, a mid-level attorney, or a receptionist or a lower-level person based on the severity and the conditions of the case, right? It's all through conversational AI. So this is what we call case type specific AI conversational chat sequences, right? So you can create different chat sequences for every single case type, right? When someone tells you that they have been involved, this is why one of your early questions in this, you'd want to, pull out case type. And then based on the case type they tell you, you then go through a sequence of questions based on that answer, right? So give me an example, Derek, of like a way that if I told you I had a DUI, what would be the follow-up questions on that versus if, I told you I murdered 17 people.
Yeah, for us, the qualifications absolutely is case type. Let me just pause on that because everyone has high value and low value cases and things in between. And if you have sellers, if you have, I guess if you're answering the phone, this is yourself, this is still important. But if there are non-attorney sellers, there are some that are very good at closing high value cases. There are some, and you want to funnel those high value cases to them, right? So identifying that up front, I think is awesome. So you can get them to the right seller, the right person on the phone. So we would ask, number one is, what type of case it is, and we're going to make some assumptions about whether that's a sort of a high value case, low value case. Geography is a big one, right? What state, what county, whatever's important to you. You may want to ask when it happened, especially like PI. You want to find out if you're bumping up against statute of limitations stuff. A couple simple, maybe 3. I think 5 is probably even too many. Probably 3 simple questions is going to narrow it down really quickly, so you know who to get them on the phone with.
Hello, thanks for calling the Justice Team. We are a law firm that wants to make sure you find the best fit for your specific case, and we use technology and artificial intelligence, and we'll record the call to make sure we do not miss anything about you or your case. How can we help you today? What happened?
I need to speak to an attorney. My wife and I were in a car accident.
I'm sorry to hear that you and your wife were in a car accident. Before we continue, may I please have your full name?
Yeah, my name is Eric Transu.
Thank you, Eric. What is the best phone number for us to reach you at in case we get disconnected?
That would be 562-225-1528.
Thank you, Eric. Can you tell me when the car accident happened?
Yeah, it happened last Tuesday.
Thank you. And where did the accident take place?
It happened in Paradise Valley, just outside of Phoenix.
I appreciate that information. Were you or your wife injured in the accident?
So that's my exact point. When people think of using AI to answer calls, it's not, to your point, Derek, it's not rocket science. We're not saying like they need to have some elaborate, persuasion technique or anything like that, right? It's literally just going through the motions of the administrative data that you would need to collect from someone anyway.
And this is especially relevant when you have something that you talk about a lot, which is lead abundance. If you're getting 2 calls a day, you don't need this, right? But if you are investing heavily in growing your firm and marketing, then yeah, there becomes a point where you need to start qualifying cases up front and getting them with the right person.
So yeah, that's the first use case, using AI call answering, lead routing. Now, another way that you can do it is, through lead nurturing. So lead follow-up scripts. You can do this same exact conversational sequence via text. And you can also use this same thing for clients or prospects who didn't hire you through follow-up, right? So you can use AI to create a specific follow-up script for a lead that called you with X case type that did not hire your law firm, and your follow-up sequence for that lead via email and text message would be different than for someone with case type B, which is a completely different case type. So this is why we just partnered with Phil Fairley in our new company, Attorney Fuel, to help people automate these parts of the intake process, which we can tell you more about if you do the competitor analysis. So I want to go into number 2, which is AI video avatars. So that's one of the big use cases. I wanted to start with intake focused because intake is typically the biggest ROI lever for law firms. So I wanted to start with that. I chose that as the number 1 highest impact just because we all know that intake, it just goes right to your bottom line. Next thing I want to go into is AI-based avatars. So I had my team put this together, and I want to just show how well AI-based avatars are working for clients who use them. So this is a client of ours, Jared and Price. They were running social campaigns for a very long time with us. They decided to try an AI-based avatar, basically a version of their ads that was created by an AI avatar, rather than by them directly speaking to camera. For a long period of time, they were at $27 cost per lead for their campaigns. As soon as we rolled out AI avatars, they've seen a 46% decrease in cost per lead and about double the quality of leads, right? Now, there's a lot of reasons behind this. I'm going to show you exactly what it looks like. So this is Patrick, who's always great to see at our quarterly coaching workshops. He sometimes brings a guitar and sings songs. We're trying to get his AI avatar to sing songs. That's our next goal as a company. All right, so let's see if we can play this.
Fiancé to the U.S.? The K-1 visa could be your answer. Want to bring your fiancé to the U.S.? The K-1 visa could be your answer. If you're engaged to a U.S. citizen, the K-1 visa allows you to bring your fiancé to the U.S. to get married. But the process can be complex, and even small mistakes can cause delays or denials. I'm here to guide you through every step, ensuring a smooth and successful visa process. Don't risk.
Has your immigration case hit a roadblock? A denial or unexpected delay can feel devastating, but it doesn't have to be the end of the road. We specialize in tackling challenges like visa denials, deportation defenses, and appeals. With the right legal strategy, many obstacles can be overcome. Your future deserves a second chance. Contact us today, and let's turn your immigration challenge into a success story.
Did you know that many DWI cases can be dismissed due to procedural errors? I'm attorney Keith Whidden, and I have a proven track record of identifying these mistakes and getting charges dropped. Don't let a DWI ruin your life. Fill out the form below. Did you know that many DWI...
Okay, so the average consumer does not know that these are AI-based versions of attorneys. The average person, they're not focusing on stuff like this. The most important thing that we have found when it comes to running social campaigns is sticking to the damn script. Okay, so every single account that you've seen, 46% decrease in cost per lead, double the quality of leads, 15% decrease cost per lead, 2.5x increase of qualified leads, and 75% decrease in cost per lead. Yeah, this went, the last one you watched went from $147 per lead to $36 per lead. That's actually way lower than 75%. So, okay, why? Why are AI avatars consistently producing better results? It's because it allows you to do rapid split testing. So if you film 1 2-minute AI avatar video, which is how you create an AI avatar, you film a 2-minute video, the AI then copies you, right? Copies your voice, your behavior, your mannerisms, your tone, all that stuff. I can roll out 15 different scripts from you like that, right? Now, because we know what different scripts work, what this does is it really just saves you from yourself, right? It prevents you from going off script and trying to be creative and adding ums or adding, pauses between the words that you say, or doing any deviation from the script that we know works, right? The other reason it works so well is simply because the biggest barrier to entry on social media ads is just getting on damn camera, right? Most attorneys just can't get on damn camera, right? So this, for 2 minutes of time input, you can have a video avatar that you can use for 2-3 years and unlimited content production. What are your thoughts on this, Derek? Crazy
Yeah,
world.
I've created it. It's pretty wild to see yourself. And I think there's a good discussion going on in the chat about, is it imperfect? Can you tell? I totally get that. I mean, I get it. But at the same time, you got to be honest with yourself. So we have hundreds of videos out there. We have a studio. If I kind of picked up the camera, there, we have a studio there sitting right outside my office. Here's a full-time videographer. I can literally be like, hey, let's go create something. I've got some good resources at my fingertips. And I still don't create as much videos as I want, right? I'm always like, oh yeah, I'll just do that myself. We'll just do that myself. And then I don't. Something else happens, something gets busy. And then even when I do create it myself, I'm not creating 15 hooks, right? I'm not creating, the meat of it, multiple different versions of the meat of it, not testing different offers when I'm recording live. I'll do 15 minutes, I'll do 3 or 4 versions and then hope I got one of those 3 or 4 versions right. The really cool part is to be able, like you said, is to split test and test them all. So I have told people, who maybe are not fully okay with, an AI version of themselves, try it. And then for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I don't know, whatever S&B recommends, you find out this is a clear winner. We ran 30 versions, right? Or whatever it is. This is a clear winner. Fine. If you want, then go record it yourself. I think S&B will talk you out of it, probably rightfully so. But then go record a version yourself, and at least you've got a winner then,
Yeah, the only way, like this is the interesting thing about being in a client services business, like my company is, right? We have no incentive to push something that's going to make you unhappy as a customer, right? So like the bottom line is the results are better across the board when we use AI-based avatars because of what you said, Derek, right? If an attorney gives us 2 videos to run on social, how are we ever going to know the exact right variation of words coming out of that attorney's mouth that works for, when you look at Google ads as an example, we're creating an average of 20 headlines, 20 description text, 20 call to action text. 20 times 20 times 20 is what? 20 times 20 is 400 times 20. That's how many different conceivable variations there are. 400 times 20, I don't know what the hell that is. Someone tell me. 8,000. 8,000 variations of text, right, for a Google ad to figure out the 1 or 2 of those 8,000 variations that works the best. And AI does that nowadays. AI is able to very rapid fire test 8,000 different variations of Google advertisements to find the 2 winners. The problem with social media is split testing. You can't find the 2 winners if you only make 2 ads because there's no way to find that big of a statistically significant winner. So if for one reason to do it is to just find what script truly statistically works the best. When you find a script that works on average, the script that is the overperformer is going to have a 20x difference than the average script, right? So it's such a disproportionate return to find what works on social because the cost per click is so much lower and therefore the cost per lead is so much lower. So yeah, it's definitely not at 100%. I don't know if it'll ever be at 100%. I don't care. What I care about is whether you get more money as a result of using the tool, right? So This is real, and you have to at least experiment with it before you
Right.
count it out.
If it's, whatever, if it's 80%, if the ad's 80% good, but it gets you a lead at half the cost, like that's a arbitrage I would take. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
gladly. And I think someone sort of essentially commented that too.
Yeah. So, okay, next we're going to go into AI image avatars. So this is another super low-hanging fruit opportunity that I'm going to kind of show. So Andy is the one who's really spearheaded this. He's like our AI test junkie.
Well,
So
he's trying to figure out ways to make himself look better. You know what I mean?
and he looks like pretty
Yeah.
damn good in this one.
He does look pretty good.
Okay, so let's go through this real quick. So we got Andy Stickle here, right? This is like his best photo day ever. If anything, the AI, AI avatars make, maybe the image ones actually make you look better. Man, look at those eyes, just looking solid, right? All right, so that's Andy. Here's a couple clients of ours, right? We wanted a kind of corporate look for this. Wanted a, tough kind of look here. Now I'm going to show you how we started getting a little bit creative here. You're going to start seeing some boxing glove variations. Now, to create the background on something like this would be really hard, right? So to actually set up a scene like this would be pretty hard, right? So this is a huge value add, big time saver, because you can, when you have your image avatar, you can basically just type, hey, put me, on a skyscraper with the window open, with the wind blowing in my hair, and blah, 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 right? So you can tell it exactly what you want the photo to be without needing to set all this up, right? The lighting, everything. So then we start playing with, we fight for your family, okay? So to actually get boxing gloves and set this up and go into a gym, that's a pain in the ass, right? So, you can create stuff like this. We fight for the compensation you deserve, right? So we can play with the boxing glove concept. And then Andy just started taking it to Pluto, right? He's like, put me riding a shark with like a faint six-pack, and da 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 da, right? And then we started, Andy started taking it to crazy levels. But it just goes to show you, the level of customization that you can get to. Car insurance companies are bullies. We fight bullies, right? All of these are just examples of how far you can go with image avatars, right? It's really the same benefits. It takes care of the content creation for you. It allows you to split test, but the big difference here that I noticed, Derek, is it allows you to create more kind of stop the scroll content, meaning, for me to ride a shark, that's going to get someone to stop scrolling on social media if they see an ad with me riding a shark, more than me just like every other attorney standing in front of a courtroom or something like that,
Yeah, it allows you to like, and I got to do more of this. I mean, but it allows you to play with like taglines, like in personal injury. I don't care what state you're in. You've all seen like the hammer, the Texas hammer, like, and it's just like a tagline. It's like a thing that they're trying to do to stand out, on a billboard or wherever. Well, here you can try like 20 of them, and you can have AI create the idea. What's the variation on the hammer? What's the variation on the, riding the shark, riding a freaking giraffe, whatever it is,
Yeah.
the boxing gloves. You can not only can you have it create the image, but you can have it ideate for you, which is just wild.
Yeah. And I just love what you said earlier, like the split testing thing, like that, you can't underestimate that.
Right. What if like the boxing, whatever, you have the fighting bullies thing, which I actually like, the insurance company fighting bully, like that takes off on social, then you're like, hey, I feel a whole lot better about making this into a billboard, right? It'd be a huge investment or whatever. So yeah, right. As opposed to you don't test that and the thing totally flops. Like social media is for pennies. You can test those ideas. It's pretty cool. And something we need to do more of.
Yep.
And
Number
Bill,
4.
can I just ask her? I mean, I don't think you need any special software for that these days. ChatGPT's doing it, Gemini, like, right?
Yeah, the one that Andy, I asked him about because he's the image wizard. I texted him this morning. He said the one that he uses, this is more complex. I forget which one it is.
So I don't mean to take us down a rabbit hole of software. There's a million of them.
Replicate is the one he uses, replicate.ai, but it's super manual. You have to upload like a bunch of photos of yourself. And and then you have to like create like this custom prompt. There are unlimited tools. If you just go to Google, type in image AI avatar, you will be able to find something.
So last night I watched Google's, I think they call it I/O, like their big press conference that they do. And they had, I mean, they released like dozens of new upgrades and products and stuff. And I see Chase posted in here. And yeah, one of the ones I saw last night was Google's new image generation is like, 10 times better, 10 times faster, gets text right. Because that always used to be a problem, right? Put like, include this text and it would like misspell it. And so Google just literally like in the last 24, 48 hours came out with some pretty crazy stuff that actually includes some video generation too. So if, I guess the idea here is, the platform doesn't really matter. I mean, they're all going to have it soon. This is the way it's going.
Yeah, it's only going to get crazier and crazier and crazier. Next thing I want to talk about, automated content repurposing. So this is pretty big. For context, we have like, I don't know, 10 or 11 people on our in-house marketing team. And so we have the bandwidth to have in-house editors edit our content. And then we found out about this tool called Opus, O-P-U-S, which there's many different variations of. There's AI Video Cut, there's Vizard, there is no limitation of tools you can use for any of these things. Literally just one Google search away. So we started playing with, because I'm a results guy, I'll do whatever gets results, right? We plugged in a long form interview that I did with someone into Opus. I forget it's Opus. I don't know. I think it's opus.pro is the actual website. So this is one of many. You can use any, this is one of many. You can use any tool. Okay, so this one, we plugged in a long form interview that I did, and it, pops out 10 or so viral clips. The way it works is you plug in one long form video, right? And then it has an algorithm within it, a virality algorithm, and it basically rank orders the clips. So it'll pull out 10 different, viral clips for you, or expected viral clips. And clip number 1 will be its highest likelihood of virality. Clip number 2 will get a slightly lower virality score. Clip number 3 will have a slightly lower virality score. So you're basically able to sift through, and this is like the flip of a light switch in terms of the time it takes to produce these. You're able to sift through, and instead of editing content, you're able to just select which of the AI short form videos you think are best. And what we do is we send the pre-edited videos to a VA that we pay much less than we would pay an in-house person in the United States, and they'll add a little bit of B-roll on top of the clip. So I looked through some of our recent shorts on our YouTube channel. This Nick Saban one that I did, like look at the difference in views. Like I had 932, 1,000, 1,500, 948, 1,200. This one was completely AI. Saban and Belichick's rule for winning. This was completely made. If you watch this one on our YouTube channel, this video was completely made from Opus. So you can look at basically like this one right here, the truth about NFL athletes. This one was made from Opus. So there are clear overperformers when you let, AI, because the beautiful thing about AI is it's already analyzed every viral video in existence, right? There's no way your editor could know every viral video in existence and factor that into its decision making. So this is a big, big deal, is understanding how you can use automated content repurposing. The big recommendation I'm going to make everyone. Now, Derek may disagree, agree with this. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'm on a binge right now that I think every law firm owner who is not creating content, that's the disclaimer. If you aren't creating content, you need something that allows you to recurringly create content. One way you can do that is just schedule a weekly podcast. Kind of like what we're doing right now. This long form video, newsflash, this video that you're watching right now, which is live, this is going to be an hour long. We will export this footage. We will plug it into opus.ai and we will get 10 short form clips from this. So had I not gone live today, I would have not had short form content for the next 10 days, right? So one reason that we rolled out this talk show, among many other reasons, as we rolled it out again, is because it was getting really hard for Andy and I to create content because of all the complexities of having a 150 employee company and blah, blah, blah. And excuses started popping up. We stopped making content. So Andy and I had a meeting and we were just like, let's launch a podcast and the talk show again. So we always know every week we have at least an hour of recorded content that we can plug into the tool, and we can always have short form videos pumping. So want to hear your thoughts on that, Derek.
Absolutely agree. Like the part that's been solved by AI is clipping the long form down to the short form, right? You just showed it. So go upstream. Like, what do you as a law firm owner need to do? Well, you need to create the long form. And there's a bunch of different ways to do it. And I don't claim to be the expert. I will say that we started just reacting. Like our, lawyers, it's hard to find time to record, hard to find time to script, all that stuff. There you go. And so we just said, all right, every Monday at 1 o'clock, we're going to get 2 or 3 lawyers. It doesn't even matter. If someone gets stuck in court, just grab another one because there's no prep. And there we go. We're going to react to literally just a video, an arrest video that's out there on the internet. How many views does this one have, Bill?
2.3 million.
2.3 million views of us just reacting to another video, right? And then so you do that. I mean, we also just 2 days ago recorded one that is a bit more local too. And that one was 2 attorneys in our office. The woman you see on the right and another attorney talked for about an hour in the studio about what it's like to practice in this certain county that we're in. Not the most entertaining content, far less entertaining than watching an arrest video on YouTube. But for an hour, they talked about what makes that county unique. They talked kind of riffed on judges and prosecutors and how it's different than downtown Chicago and all that different stuff. And so obviously someone who's watching that probably has a case in that county. And 2, that whole hour was not incredibly interesting, but there were absolutely 10 or more, short sort of viral, possibly viral moments in there. So I think really the lesson there, at least for me, is just record it. I don't care if it's a podcast. I don't care if it's something kind of dry and small and local. I don't care if it's something big like current events and news and, whatever. It doesn't matter. Just create the long form content. You'll sort of steer your way through it as long as you start creating it.
Yeah, my viewpoint, Derek, really is the number one thing to remove is all of the anything that's painful in creating content, you have to remove. So if preparation is super painful, then don't prepare. Just do what you did, which is show a clip of a viral police arrest or something, and then boom, get your legal brain going and say, here's what I agree with. Here's what I disagree about this. So first things first, the guy didn't ask blah. Second thing, But boom, now you don't have to prepare. Now the only thing you have to do to spark your content creation process is pick the clip that you're going to comment on. That's 5 seconds.
Exactly. Yep. Totally right. And you get, in my opinion, you get more person. I mean, the attorneys can talk about their subject matter all day long. My DUI attorneys can talk about DUIs and they're passionate about it. It comes through in the video. Encouraged them to sort of pick a side, right? And yeah, that's how you get the good stuff, if you ask me. But again, you may not hit it out of the park the very first. You may not get 2.3 million views the very first time, and that's okay. You sort of feel your way through it as long as you're creating the long form, and the short form sort of then informs you that short form that took off versus the one that doesn't starts to inform you about maybe what's resonating with the audience.
Yep. Got to get something out there. That's why, like, if you're not putting out content, the number one thing you can do is just decide what time of what day each week you are going to record at least an hour of content. That's
Mondays at 1 o'clock for us. Yep, exactly right.
That's the only key. That's the key, because that's the only barrier to entry. That's the only thing that AI cannot do for you yet, is actually create authentic, real stuff that feeds your organic engine.
Yeah.
All right. So number 5, this is where the serious money is made from an optimization standpoint. This is AI supported marketing and ad optimization. Since October of 2024, our company SMB team, we manage 600 clients, marketing law firms, and we invested. This is a hard choice for me because this was not necessarily a revenue or profit generating decision. This was just a futurist decision. I decided to invest $50,000 a month on a AI infusion optimization tool that now basically adds power to all of our digital advertising efforts for our clients. So back in October, we heard about this tool from one of my mentors who runs a $350 million agency in the automotive niche, only serves big, complex auto dealers. And he was getting extremely good results for his clients. And I asked him, like, how are you doing it? And he said, well, the real secret is that, we've created an AI decision-making process for what ads work the best for every single type of car that exists in the United States, because they basically have the biggest Toyota dealership in the world works with them, the biggest Honda dealership, they have all the biggest players. And because of that, they have data on what sells Hondas, what sells Toyotas, right? And for any individual human to go through that data and to pick out what actually works, it would take years of work, because they'd have to go through thousands and thousands of variations of ads. They'd have to go through analytics testing. They'd need a whole data team to be able to do this. What he invented was this process, which are called, product blueprints, which we kind of took from him and we turned into what we call AI practice area blueprints. So what we did is we realized the number one problem that attorneys face is leads that don't turn into cases, right? So from that point in time, we rolled out this process called the signed case analysis, which now we've had tens of thousands of our clients signed cases for every practice area of law. They've sent us their signed case data, meaning the name, phone number, email of every single client that signed up with their firm. And we've been able to cross-reference it to what exact ad, what exact platform, what exact keyword signed up that client. So then we've been able to set basically benchmarks for every single practice area based on what we know works the best to sign up clients, right? So, analyze a couple thousand signed estate planning clients. We now know what exact keywords, what device types, what demographic settings, and what benchmarks should be met in a high-performing estate planning campaign. So when we sign up a new estate planning lawyer, we're able to plug and play on the data. We already know what sells estate planning services at scale because we have 150 or so estate planning clients. So we've already done that. We've done it for car accidents. We've done it for criminal defense. We've done it for immigration, every single practice area. Ad combination analysis. This is another thing that I was talking about. If you have 20 different headlines and you have 20 different body text for an ad, that's 400 variations of an ad. That's 400 different variations of one ad, right? To know which variation works the best, AI does that. A human being doesn't go line by line through 400 different ads, right? AI is able to do that. This is a big thing we've found in using AI, is keywords you're not using that could be giving you money, right? Could be bringing in cases. That's called the blocked keyword analysis. That's another thing that AI does. This is more for your advanced Google advertising people, but the point is this: since we've embedded AI-supported optimization, our personal injury cost per lead has decreased 42%, non-PI 10%, okay? Now this is all while, now this is crazy, cost per click from October of last year to now, cost per click has increased 35%. And yet, using this AI-infused process, we've been able to decrease our PI cost per lead 42%, even while cost per clicks went up 35%. If you add 42 and 35 together, that's a 77% decrease in effective cost per lead in personal injury. And that's a 45 plus 10, or a 35 plus 10. That's a 45% decrease in effective cost per lead for all non-PI practice areas. So, and it's all based on signed case data. It's not based on what gets clicks, it's based on what gets signed cases. So what is the number one thing that's happening right now in ads is increased cost per click. It's happening everywhere right now. So you need as much intelligence you possibly can to reduce cost per click. The last thing I want to hit on regarding this is multi-channel budget distribution. This is something that no individual ad platform can do. So, the three platforms that law firms should be investing most of their ad dollars on I will go to the grave saying this, is Facebook ads, Google ads, and local services ads. Those are the top 3 return on investment platforms and go-to-market platforms for attorneys across over 100 million in ad spend we've managed and advised on. How do you cross budget allocate across those 3 platforms? How do you pull budget from Facebook and put it towards Google if something's working on your Google campaigns? How do you pull budget from Google and put it towards Facebook if you land on an amazing ad? Well, you're able to set up decision-making processes within the AI that if, let's say you get a $20 cost per lead on Facebook and you get a $700 cost per lead on Google or some crazy number, you can set up automated sequences that's like, hey, if cost per lead goes above this, boom, pull X% of budget from Google and put it on the Facebook. And you can have this happen automatically so that your ad dollars are always immediately going towards the highest return on investment areas. AI-supported ad optimization is probably the #1 way to reduce your cost per lead. So I'm done talking like a lunatic. Go ahead, Derek. Put this into human terms.
Yeah, no, well, I mean, this is your world, right? All I can say is that those are the 3 platforms that I spend most money. Google, PPC traditionally, LSAs, and Facebook. SMB manages all of them, and I give you guys my case data, my signed cases once a month. I just export it to Excel, send it to you guys send it back and say, cool, we're making better decisions based on that. Great, wonderful. So how it all, I sort of like don't know how the sausage is made on this one. You just showed us. But yeah, those are the 3 platforms, and we are doing everything we can to keep signing up our cases and keeping those costs down and working.
Yep, it's hard.
That's all I got to add there.
So AI-supported ad optimization, if you're not working with an agency that's using AI-supported ad optimization, it's right now it's more optional. In 3 months' time, I'm anticipating that the advertising companies for lawyers who don't use AI-based ad optimization are not going to retain their customers, and they're going to ultimately go out of business as a result of that, of law firms canceling with them, because you just can't. You can't not do this right now with how competitive it is, the VC money flooding in, big advertisers, and you need to be smart with every damn penny. It's just mission critical.
Can I just add, Bill, real quick, from like a sort of motivation or trust perspective, right? Facebook has sort of AI recommendations for their ads. Google has AI recommendations for their ads. I agree that they want to deliver you clients, but they also make more money, right? With those AI optimizations. Like, of course that is built into the algorithm, right? Is for them to make more money off me off those ads. And so I just don't know that I fully trust sort of those platform recommendations, but a third party, right? I mean, you guys have a very vested interest, and you don't necessarily make more money when when you move money from LSA to PPC or to Facebook, right? It's still the same budget for me. You're just optimizing it. So just from a pure trust standpoint, that makes a lot of sense in my head.
Yeah, it's mission critical. It really is. You can't put all your trust in any individual platform when they're publicly traded companies and everyone's trying to steal money from the other. That's why the independent third-party platform, which is an AI optimized tool, is it makes it objective. It kind of is an AI that manages the AIs of Facebook, because they're all ran by AI, right? I mean, everything's ran by AI. So it's one AI tool that manages the AI of Facebook, the AI of Google, the Facebook, the LSA, even TikTok, any other ad platform. Okay, so AI-supported ad optimization, that's number 5. Number 6 is AI-supported content creation. This is a big area of fear for people when it comes to using ChatGPT to produce SEO-based content. It is still something we are not doing as an agency. We are not creating AI-based content. And the reason is because we haven't seen a statistical better result from it. We have dummy sites and stuff where we test content results, and we just haven't seen better results from it. Everything else that I've stated, we've seen clear before and after better results. Now, the only argument to be made is that AI created content is much cheaper, even if it's slightly lower quality, and you can put out 3 to 5 times the volume of content for the same cost. Now, the problem with that logic is that the assumption has to be that the content is world-class, excellent content. And the biggest hurdle we run into with that for lawyers is obviously your bar license is pretty damn important, and we don't want things to be misstated or be straight up lies. There's still ChatGPT still does a little bit of hallucination. So to do it at scale is very risky, and the amount of time it takes to QA, basically, you need content will never be 100%. If you want it to be high quality, it could be in the future. I'm trying to be hesitant saying the word never because AI keeps impressing the hell out of me. It's going to be a little bit of time before you click a button and you have a blog post for your firm without needing to QA it for accuracy, right? So as it currently stands, the amount of bodies and effort that you would need in quality assurance to make sure the content's accurate makes SEO-based content a little tough to do at scale. And since we're running out of time here, Derek, and I want to repeat the free gift I'm giving to everyone, I am going to share a quick song for everyone. And this is our last way you can use AI, number 7, AI-based songs. So let me see if I can find
While you're queuing that up, I got to touch on that last one really quickly. I agree. The hallucinations scare me, the QA. One thing that we've been doing is we are creating long form. In fact, we created I think it's about 10-hour video series on how somebody can get their license back after DUI. Just attorneys riffing. But we broke it up into subject, and then you take that transcript and we plugged that into AI, right? And so we would have that. So the foundation of it was our words. And that thing we really helpful, created a lot.
Doing lots of resistant. That's all. If you were drunk and ran into someone's car or killed someone, you know who to call. Driver defense team, one call. That's all. No matter how drunk you are, driver defense team is who call. It's Thursday, May 22nd, 21, 25. And a group of ambitious attorneys are attending the #1 law firm live talk show in the world. Bill and Derek are rambling about what works using AI to grow law firms. And all of the law firm owners here gonna add millions to their law firms this year.
That is wild.
Yeah.
And to be clear, that is not my jingle, that first one. Bill texted me that. I'm like, absolutely not.
So you could tell it anything. I mean, I was joking with Derek. He was speaking at one of our events. I was like, let's see if we can make a song on this. And it's like, if you've been drinking and driving, you know who to call. Driver defense team, one call. That's all. And it creates the song in 10 seconds. So you could literally have a lead. Like, let's say Joe Schmo calls your law firm and doesn't hire your law firm. You could have someone on your intake team go to suno.com, create a custom AI song and say, Joe Schmo, you called our firm on May 22nd, 2025, and you didn't hire us. What did we do wrong? What can we do? And they literally will think that you hired a band and created a song in 15 seconds. It's like creates the most outlandish reactions from people.
So I saw just yesterday, a guy blew up on Instagram because he's taking text message of his wife or somebody's wife, I don't know, texting him while he's on the golf course. Like, you said you were going to be home an hour ago. He's like, I'm sorry, I'm still in the 14th hole. Like, basically his wife bickering at him because he's golfing. He makes it into a song and posts it on Instagram, and it just blows up with millions of views. It's like the clever use cases for this is just insane.
Yeah, it really is. I make way too many songs in the office. If anyone were to see me in footage, like what I do during the week, yeah, there's a lot of wasted time. making songs that are not HR approved. Yeah, so it's turned into a problem. It's actually going to be a new form of a disorder, I heard from the Psychology Association. And thank you, everyone. We're going to sign off now. I'll see everyone next week. Andy's going to be running next week's episode. Make it a great rest of the week. And remember to always flex in the mirror. I hope you enjoyed the 7 highest impact ways to use AI to grow your law firm. If you did, please smash that like button and give us a subscribe. It would mean the world. And it also shows us that the content we're putting out is valuable and that you want stuff more like it in the future. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one.